can go.
Ignored by the Nigeria state. The Organization for Imagining African State, after deliberation, has endorsed the Biafra Republic, government in exile, self-referendum on Biafra for many, many reasons. And one of those reasons, or some of those reasons, are as follows. Nigeria refused to administer or permit a third party to conduct Biafra referendum. The organization also noted that the African Charter of Human and People's Rights guarantees the right to self-determination of everyone, including Biafra people. They also noted that Biafra has submitted a request to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights to assist with the referendum and peaceable transfer of power to the Republic of Biafra, if so indicated by its result. The Organization of Emerging African States noted that it's satisfied with the integrity of the referendum, which is being conducted digitally and at local polling station and is subject to multiple safeguards. The result of the self-referendum also was noted that it is going to be satisfiable and will meet international standard. This is the submission of the Organization of Emerging African States. Millions of Biafrans have already voted in the referendum, which is due to be concluded on November 29th, 2024. The Organization of Emerging African States congratulates Biafra people and congratulates the Biafra Republic Government in exile for its sagacity and initiative in undertaking the referendum on the future of Biafra. And on this note, they also declared the result of the Biafra self-referendum shall be considered binding under international law as a definitive statement of the intention and aspiration of the Biafra people. My fellow Biafra, as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in exile and the de facto government of Biafra in the homeland, it is very imperative that each and every progress we make, we will come to brief you. It is also very, very important that we keep all Biafra people, home and abroad, putting whatever we do on check and balance. And that's why it is very important that we brief you today the milestone the Biafra Republic Government in exile has made, making sure that our self-referendum, we are going to force it on those who have impoverished Biafra for decades. We are going to force it on those who have subjugated us to slavery, killing our people, our women and children, taking our land by force, and changing the demography of our region. My fellow Biafrans, I want to urge you to continue to show fearless resilience in the ongoing Biafra self-referendum. Continue to cast your vote, both locally at the polling unit and also, of course, online. We will continue to encourage you that this particular self-referendum being organized and supervised by Biafra government is a process that we feel and see as the only legitimate way that will serve the interests of Biafra. Everything we do is Biafra first. Biafra first before Nigeria. Biafra first before any other person. It is the interest of our people, making sure that we provide security to our women and children. That's why we have taken this particular bold step, which we are now beginning to see result as being recognized and endorsed by organizations. The journey of 1,000 miles, they say, start with a step. I rest my case. I will now invite our international consultancy and our international attorney, Dr. Levy, to come on board and have a comment. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I want to point out a couple things. First of all, Biafra is, of course, a charter member of the Organization of Emerging African States and was, as usual, leading the way for liberation from neocolonialism in Africa by coming together with the two other charter members, Southern Cameroons and Cabinda, to form that organization, which has now grown much larger. Dr. Akwanga, the Secretary General, Ebenezer Akwanga, who could not be here today, he's up in northern Ghana. He sends his regards to you, Prime Minister. In consultations with him, it was a revelation to the Organization of Emerging African States that, again, Biafra shows the initiative to hold a self-referendum, because, of course, in the past, we always asked Nigeria to hold the referendum. And of course, that's a mistake. 3 times Nigeria has been asked, even more times by others. And now the technology and initiative exists. So we have the ability to hold a referendum that, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the Organization of Emerging African States, will meet all international law standards. Because, of course, we're using digital and local methods. The referendum can be verified and will be the will of the people. And Biafra, again, leads the way in Africa with this. So under international law, referendum is by and large, of course, is the preferred method to achieve independence, because then there's no question about what the people want. Once this referendum is finished and the results announced, they will be binding under international law. Biafra, if it's the will of the people, if the republic is to be restored, then that is what will happen. The Organization of Emerging African States will be one of the first to congratulate and certify the results of that referendum. And as I believe other international organizations must do so also. For example, several years ago, an inquiry was made to the European Union by the OEAS on behalf of Biafra, what their opinion was about the situation and holding a referendum. The external service of the European Union said, of course, we support all ways of achieving self-determination recognized by international law. And of course, the premier way to do this is the referendum. So again, there's no question. I think if you ask anybody, a well-coordinated referendum meets all requirements under international law.
Thank you very much, Dr. Levy, for that input. And just for the sake of information, and on the ongoing Biafra self-referendum, the records so far have shown over 40 million vote for Biafra, and we expect to even see up to 50 million, if not up more than that. So the people are voting massively, and so the media team, do you have any of the self-referendum video? Just for our international viewers, watching from different channel, to just take a look at what the Biafra self-referendum physical voting in the homeland look like. So we can have one of the videos, especially the one that you can, if you have the one from Aaron Dizogo, please, you can push that and let us have a clue of what is going on in Biafra land, because a lot of people don't actually understand the level of compliance in this Biafra self-referendum. So those the voting in the polling unit in one of the county, which I believe to be one of the highest turn-up so far in a single county, where Sonny, I'm forwarding it to you. I think not even is Okigwe. So Sonny, please, can you push this to the screen and let our viewers understand what the Biafra Republic government in exile and Biafra de facto government in homeland self-referendum look like. A very peaceful, people are organized, they behave themselves, not like what you see in Nigeria election, where people are being butchered and you see noise everywhere and people are behaving as if they're, calling them animal is an insult to animal. I don't know what they behave like, but I want our foreign observers, especially those observing this press briefing today, to take a look at what Biafra self-referendum in the homeland look like. And remember that the highest number of votes is coming from the homeland. Thank you. Sonny, over to you. I've just forwarded it to you. Thank you. At this point, if it is going to waste time, you can put something on the screen, so we don't need to stand and wait. Thank you. So in the screen is a self-referendum going on. This is one single polling unit. And I can assure you that in Nigeria election, you can never see the number of this turnout in a general election in Nigeria. Most of the people that are voting for self-referendum of Biafra never participated in Nigeria election since they turned 18. And this is the first time they are voting in their entire life. So can you put the volume?
Right again. Nigeria. I mean Biafra. Nigeria. Nigeria or Nigeria, Nigeria.
This is Biafra self-referendum voting that is going on in the land of Okigwe under all Chineke Pulling Unit of Okigwe State. Vote of Biafra self-referendum that is going on currently today, being the 6th of June. 6th of June, 2024. It is happening live and direct, as you can see it. They are crying that they are tired of to be a part of Nigeria. This is the cry of the people of Biafra all over the world. People are many, thousands of people gathered, happening live and direct in Okigwe State. All over Chineke Pulling Unity, Amosu, Okigwe, happening live and direct.
All right, thank you very much for that. And on this note, we inform Biafran people that the document or the resolution from the Organization of Emerging African States will be made public immediately after this press briefing. So I thank you all for being part of this success and development. Remember that this is just the beginning. We are looking forward to see endorsement from different organizations. Prior to our convention in Finland, it is very important that we get as many endorsements as possible on this Biafra self-referendum. This is the way we design our own government. This is what the definition of self-determination is all about. You decide and define how you are going to govern yourself. Design the government that works for you, your future. Make it possible for those who Nigeria have destroyed their future. We restore the hope back, and the process has begun. Those of our international collaborators that are helping us both in diplomacy and otherwise, we thank you so much for the time and the love you have shown so far. Those adversary, an adversary role, making sure that this step we're taking is something that is in accordance with international legal framework and international law. We thank you also, Biafran people who have supported this Biafra government in exile up to this point. We thank you very much. The cabinet, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile cabinet, and the cabinet in the Biafra de facto government in the homeland. We thank all of you for sticking to the mandate of the liberation of Biafra. On this note, I say, may God bless you. May God bless Biafra. May God bless the Biafra Liberation and Defense Forces. Airborne!
Thank you, PM.
And then also remember that if you have not registered for the Finland Convention, it is very, very important that you do it, because this is something that will never happen again. The declaration of Biafra, or the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra, will be realistic, and it will happen in Finland. For those doubting our resolve, you are going to be disappointed. Our own objective and main priority of the government is to make sure we protect our women and children that have fallen victim to Nigeria terrorist state for many decades. And today, it is no longer business as usual. And I want every one of you to understand that they will kill us, we will kill them, but at the end, our freedom will come. At the end, Biafra will come. We are already at war, whether it is still secret, whether it is a asymmetric war, whether it is a jungle warfare, as they call it. The main point is that we are at war with Nigeria, but at the same time, we are always going to dictate how this war is going to be fought. The Biafra land will swallow everyone who comes to kill our people. And those of you who may wish to join the sponsorship should contact the Minister of Finance. And those of you who may wish to join the committee on the Biafra Lobbying Committee, please, you contact the COS, the Chief of Staff. It's very, very important. Also remember that in whatever we do, finance, resources is very, very important. The defense of Biafra land requires money. It requires weapons to make sure that those who come to kill us will be repelled. That's what we are doing so far. We have not decided to take the war to them. We will always repel. And it has yielded result, but of course, we cannot continue to fight a defensive war. So we will step up the game as time goes on to make sure that nobody commits genocide against Biafra people again. So our resolve, and that is the only responsibility that the Biafra government is taking very seriously, security. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you, Dr. Levy, for joining us. See you next time.